Regarding the inequity that I talked about with the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, that is wealth that is passed down, and it's documentable wealth. The same way that the wealth created, or the wealth stolen as a product of slavery was also documentable wealth. We have numbers that demonstrate precisely how much wealth was stolen, and that's money that in some way could be given back. Now, if we're saying that it's absolutely impossible to give that money back because it's too hard to trace, we'd have to give money to the African tribes. We'd have to give money to people who are no longer exist. That's absolutely fine, but we have to understand that we haven't really...
Are we talking about reparation here?
Really come to terms with that injustice that's been perpetrated, and if we are admitting that no one is perfectly entitled to absolutely everything that their ancestors had stolen from them, then we also have to accept that there are people today who benefit from the fact that their parents and grandparents profited from this immoral system, and the way to deal with that is with a social safety net that enables everyone to thrive. I'll leave you there.
Now, the first thing I'm trying to say is, this is a huge...
So that was a clap? Okay. All right, let's see how this thing goes.
Hugely controversial principle because it actually involves wrecking the freedom of a free society. You basically have to put it frankly, if we were to carry that out, go into people's homes and take their stuff, take their furniture, take their cars. You don't seem to have even the guts to do that. You don't have the moral self-confidence to do it yourself. It may be, if I am advocating a rule of social justice and I'm advocating it for the whole society, before I persuade everybody else, let's say I'm a Christian and I believe everybody should give 10% of their wealth to help the poor. And I go, you know what? The Bible says this, the Bible says that, everybody should give 10% of their wealth to help the poor. And somebody says, Dinesh, are you giving 10% of your wealth? And I'm like, actually, no.
Oh, that's
but
a good point.
I did do some tutoring.
I know where he's going with this. And I guess he's going more like, if you want reparation, you, Caucasian boy, why you don't give your reparation, then we can believe you. Something like that.
And you go, wait a minute, aren't you advocating, aren't you saying that there is a moral duty to do this? Why don't you do it? Before you convince us, you do it. And you're like, I don't think I should do it because society is extremely complex, and I don't think I should do it unless everybody else does it. No, either you believe in it and you do it. Once you've done it, you might impress us. And then you might convince the rest of us that our wealth is also ill-gotten. But you can't do it. And I'm not trying to indict everybody of hypocrisy, only you. Because you're the one who said, I'm the beneficiary of illicit privilege. So you're a really good starting point, because I'm asking, if you're in possession of stolen goods, why aren't you willing to return them? So that's why fundamentally I see your charity. You know, during the Civil War, there was a guy who goes, I'm very happy to give, I've given 3 cousins to the war and I'm ready to sacrifice my wife's brother. That's basically your ethics. You're willing to have social justice if other people pay, but you're not willing to pay. So that's the problem. And that's the problem with the progressivism that marches behind social justice while protecting its own privileges. You know how you said...
Okay. Okay. That's a good point. That's a good point. Let me see. So protecting your own interests from your own privilege, but you're not willing to give them back. Huh, that's a good point. If you have so much privilege, why you don't give it back? But instead of doing that, you scream about it, but you don't give it back. You scream about climate change, but it seems like you don't, when you are protesting about climate change, you leave the streets kind of dirty. That's what I'm thinking, right? All right. It's almost over.
We all have to survive. Really? You have to be at Amherst to survive? You don't have to be at Amherst to survive. You have to be at Amherst to benefit. You have to be at Amherst because you're getting opportunities at this college that many other people are not getting. So if you say you believe in equal opportunity, you're a hypocrite because you are taking advantage of opportunities unavailable to others. But for you, this hypocrisy is fully justified because you are militating on behalf of the poor.
He went in. He's not wasting
But
time
if you are against privilege, this college is privilege.
Okay.
So there's a glaring hypocrisy, and you will never turn your moral mirror on yourself to say, what am I doing about it? That's my point. For you, society should act before you do to enforce your moral code.
He went very, very harsh a little bit with the kid. And then this lady was clapping. I don't know what she was clapping. I think she was trying to send a message of how. This is the thing. People like this think that clapping made their argument better. That's not. That's like when you go to a late night show. If someone says, I just think the sky is green. Because I think the sky is green, everyone should believe me the sky is green. Everyone start clapping, and they give you the perceived notion that this person said a truth, objective truth, and therefore we have to clap it. Which what happened with this guy? It's true. I mean, if the kid said, you know what, Dinesh, I think there's a. Here's my argument on this. If I was the kid, Dinesh, I just said everything that I just said. You know what? You're right. I'm going to give my privilege away for another kid to come that is less privileged than me and take my position. Then I will leave the kid. But the problem with a lot of these ideology, what I'm noticing is, it's all about preaching, not acting. So when that happens in itself, it just breaks down because it does not have a fundamentals. If you were socialist or communist, right, and you're making a lot of money and you believe in sharing your wealth, right, with others, you should do it from the beginning in your private money. Say, you know what? Because I know this really works, I'm gonna take 5 individuals, right? And we're gonna work in this little thing that I have right now, that I'm making millions, $2 or $4 or $5 million, right? And I'm gonna show to the world that this really do work, and we just implement it like that. And let's see what happens, right? If a person does that, I will respect them right away. I say, you know what? You're a person of your word, and you acting on your own merits, and that's okay. In this case, the kid just shoots himself in the foot, and I understand he might just trying to earn a grade. It's probably one of the professor. Maybe she was the professor. She told her, if anybody go to Dinesh D Souza and just tell them what I'm going to write down here, and I will give them an A. And she was just waiting for it, right? Maybe that happened because what he was saying sounded good. But why, if it is that good, why you not doing it, right? It's like a female, right? It's like a female. Female say, if a female tell you like, oh, I wish you were my boyfriend because everything that you do is so right. I wish you were my boyfriend. And you were like, oh, but I'm here. I can be your boyfriend. No, we're just friends. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. It sounded good, right? But the moment you're applying it, you can't apply it. So it's completely null. I'm gonna try to see more Dinesh D Souza and see how we can just get thing. But he knows what he's talking. I like that. A little bit too much in getting to the point at the end. I guess he's trying to be respectful, but he's less aggressive than let's say Thomas Sowell. Thomas Sowell is he knows a lot. Keep the things very simple. I think it's just a different style. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Am I wrong? Am I analyzing this a little bit off, or am I right? Maybe you guys agree with me on this. Let me know in the comment section below.